Bonjour, Dieu merci pour aujourd'hui. Pouvez-vous parler français? Je suis limité, je pratique. Merci pour votre aide. Comment ça va? Comme-ci, comme-ça. C'est bon, c'est la vie. Merci beaucoup. Just practicing some French. But I do appreciate everyone's support, regardless of their mother tongue. Thank you for your support. Thank God for this day. I would like to make some statements in aid of proper language development. If you have increased your interest in proper language development of our world at this time, thank you very much for your respect. I appreciate your time and energy to respect and develop the English language in this way, allowing us to continue to connect and organize our world peacefully. I love you all. There's a lot of awkwardness in what I've done with languages, so without saying too much about it, thank you for appreciating that statement. However, it has also brought a lot of awareness to the pros and cons of both written and picture languages. Now, the difference is the written languages are all of the languages that share what I like to refer to modernly as the Pinyin alphabet. Now, locally, that is the English alphabet, but no one language owns the alphabet, and many geographies use that same alphabet in sculpting their languages and connecting their people. Français, Español, and Filipino are other examples of languages that use that alphabet, but I like to refer to it as the Pinyin alphabet because even if you started with a language that is written in pictures like Hongguo, Putankwa, or Hindi, that's Korean, Mandarin, or Hindi, well, you still need to become familiar with the Pinyin on your way to the written language. So you could see how the Pinyin is working very much so as a bridge or a standard of writing alphabet. And then we have our picture alphabets. You can cross languages without changing alphabets as long as you are staying amongst the written languages that share the Pinyin alphabet. You will still need to get used to new tones, lettering, usages, sometimes sentence shifting, but generally, learning a new language is mental work, and I appreciate your efforts in developing a second language. If you do decide to develop a language that is written more in pictures, you will use Pinyin to learn how to properly pronounce the characters. But once you know how to properly pronounce the characters, well, you can scrap that Pinyin. The pictures never change. They always mean the same things. So once you learn them and you know how to properly pronounce the character, you develop the language. I would like to digress for a moment and get back to this. Generally, we understand that in language learning, there's all separate skills. There's speaking, listening, comprehending, reading, and so on. And different skills can be developed at different degrees. I have met people that could understand all of my English speaking, but needed to reply in a different language. Logistically, since I have self-developed all of these languages through my language study, my listening skill is generally my weakest, and the languages I do have speaking to me in my community, well, those listening skills are developing. For example, I have a lot of Hindi speakers in my area, so my Hindi listening skill is developing. I don't know if any of those brothers and sisters will see this video, but in case they do, आपकी सहायता करी धन्यवाद दोस्तन मैं सुधार कर रहा हूँ मुझे यह पसंद है अंग्रेजी सीखने के लिए धन्यवाद सहायता करके मुझे खुशी हुई. So getting back to what I was saying about the alphabets, I actually have a bit of a significant situation with the Korean alphabet. Obviously, in studying languages that I don't understand, in alphabets that I did not know, I needed to translate them to my mother tongue, which is English. But since the pictures don't change, and I translated a lot of the same characters, I didn't really need to keep translating the characters, but I didn't really learn how to properly speak the characters. Now with Korean, the characters are fairly basic. And 我会说普通话, I speak Mandarin, and I am catching up quickly with my authentic Chinese characters. But Korean is still more basic, and I found it easier to absorb. And what ended up happening for me was I was looking at the Korean picture, but understanding it in English, and then looking at the next set of characters and remembering translating it to English, and so on. So without really being able to speak the language, I developed a bit of a Korean reading skill. Again, looking at the character, but understanding it in English. Now, if you do have any of the languages that are written as pictures, you could see how others could develop understanding of your characters without being able to properly pronounce your language. So I hope this was a useful chat for language development. But with that said, I gotta get going. Thank you all for your time and energy in absorbing these chats. I love you all. Eat good, remain optimistic, be thankful for your life, and create a great day for yourself. Peace and love to all. Dieu merci encore. A bientôt. Bonne nuit.